Now, the past couple of cool tool videos, I've mentioned just how much I love those cool tools, and I think in both cases said one was my favourite cool tool of last year and one was already my favourite cool tool of this year. This cool tool actually has only been out a couple of months and has already made my life so much easier. I would say it has more than paid for itself already. And I know you hear internet marketers say that all the time, but it honestly is the case for the kind of tasks that I've been doing. Now, they may not be the tasks that you do all the time, which is why this tool may not necessarily be for you, but if you're in niche marketing, if you like buying and selling websites, then this is definitely going to come in useful. It's called Domainface. Some of you may have seen an incarnation of this already because a more restricted version was released with Domain Samurai, which was a free download. It was a combination of Market Samurai, the free parts of Market Samurai to do your keyword research, and Domain Samurai, which is what evolved into Domainface. And what it is essentially it enables you to find the best domains. That may sound silly. You may think, well, I just go to GoDaddy, I go to Namecheap. But particularly now, where they're telling us that there's a finite number of domain names and we're running out of them, and all the dot coms are gone, and which isn't completely true, but we're getting close to it. You want to find the best domain name possible when you're buying a domain name. And there are two cases particularly where I use this. If I'm setting up a new niche site, I've done my keyword research, one of the best ways to get a head start in a niche is to buy a domain that already has some age, that already has some PR, somebody's done a lot of backlinking to it and for one reason or another has either forgotten to renew it or has decided they're not going to renew it, or they've maybe put it up for auction themselves. And Domainface helps you find those websites, and you want to find those keyword rich domains after you've done your keyword research. The other place that I've been using it is to buy domains that similarly have high PR, have maybe some decent age to it, has already got a history, has already been found by Google, and buying up some of those domains, putting decent quality information on that's very similar to what has been there before, and then using those as a strategy for buying and selling websites. So basically buying the domain, putting content on, and then reselling for a higher amount. And it's very similar actually, because you're still needing to make sure you are doing your keyword research and making sure that those domain names are keyword rich. But if you look for certain criteria, find a domain that fits that criteria and then check that the keywords are relevant, you can almost back research a domain as well. I will show you what I mean. This is the opening site. It's very simple. They've made it very simple to find out more about it or to buy it. There's not a lot of messing around on this site, and hopefully we're going to be able to use it. It does say it's about to go down in the next 24 hours for some quick maintenance, so fingers crossed we'll still be able to use it during this video. You can take the tour or you can price and sign up. The great thing about signing up and paying for it is obviously you might want to test out the free version initially with Domain Samurai, but once you choose to pay for it, you can pay a monthly amount, or if you look down here, you can get a year or a lifetime access to the basic, $247. If you're going to use that a lot for the rest, lifetime access, that's pretty good price. And similarly, if you go pro, $897 never expires, or you can get a year's worth for $497. So there are different ways of paying, but I'm going to go into my dashboard and show you how to use the basics. Again, as I've said, if you've used Domain Samurai, if you've used it plugged into your Market Samurai, you'll know that you can do some basic domain searches using your keywords and it will show you new domains that are for sale containing your keywords, and it will show you how close to your keywords, what percentage of closeness they are to your keywords, and will also bring up some of the aged or domains that are for sale with some PR. And if you've got the free version, you get limited information and you get a certain number of searches allowed, but Domainface then takes that further and gives you a whole lot more searches and so much information you will not believe it. I promise you. We are going to do a domain name power search. We're going to go to advanced search. Might as well show you the good stuff straight away. Now, let's say our need a niche on the weekend was genealogy. So let's say you've done your keyword search and you've come up with a couple of keyword phrases that you'd like to find in your domain. Now, you could go very, very specific. For example, you could look for Latter-day Saints genealogy, or you could just type in the phrase genealogy and see what it comes up with. So we're going to type that in, must contain genealogy, but you could also do must contain any of, so you could perhaps put genealogy and then family tree or something like that. Lots and lots of choices here. You can choose if it can start with something, end with something. That doesn't include the TLD, we'll go to that in a moment. Must not contain, so if you know there are definitely some negative words you don't want to use, you can choose not to use those. If you don't like hyphens, you can choose to exclude. You can exclude digits. I don't mind about digits. I'm going to exclude foreign, and I'm going to exclude adult. You can choose a minimum and a maximum length. Languages, see all these wonderful things that you can really be specific. You can choose what sort of page rank. So let's say we want at least a page rank 1, must be in Google's index, and the page rank must be validated. Sometimes a page rank can appear on something, but actually it's a fake page rank because it redirects to a different page, a different site, different domain that has page rank. So you need to look out for that. You can also do the same with Yahoo, Bing, all these things. You can choose whether it's in DMOZ and in Wayback Machine, all these different things you can look for. I'm not going to be quite that specific. Only list domains available from certain places, so if you'd prefer only to buy from 1 or 2 places, you can choose that. You can choose what kind of domains they are, so whether they're being sold privately, they've no longer registered, they're being deleted, all those different kinds of things. Types of sales and minimum and maximum price, and then only list domains ending with, I usually go .com, .net, .org, or if I'm looking UK, I go .co.uk, and I might type in there .org.uk or something like that. And you can also say domain age, so we're going to go, it needs to be at least a year old, and you just click find domain names, and you'll see it's brought me up a number of sites with genealogy in. cgenealogy.com, genealogyanyone.com, and Johnson Family Genealogy. And if you're reverse engineering this a little bit, this is where you go and you do a little bit of keyword research, see if any of those are better keyword phrases than others. But in general, we're looking at, if you're going for a genealogy niche, and look, this one's 4 years, 10 months old. It's got a page rank 3. It is archived from January 06. And you can also see it's indexed by Google. It's got 2 backlinks in Google, 10 in Yahoo. You can have hundreds of backlinks appearing here. It's not listed in DMOZ or Yahoo. But you can then choose, if you like one, if we click on it, it's going to open in another tab. It's going to tell me a little bit more about that and where I can buy it. And because I've got the highest version of Domainface, I could actually set up an auto bid for this. So, because the point when you're buying domains, it's better if you don't bid until the very, very last minute. Rather than doing it yourself, you can get them to do it for you. You don't want to put your bid in too early on. This will show you where it's being sold, so that would take me to Namejet in this particular case, if you did want to put your bid in separately. And it just tells you various pieces of information. Now the other thing you can do, and this is just amazing, if you are in certain niches and you're trying to build up a number of domains in those niches, or maybe you like to sell within certain niches, say you've discovered there's a particular popular niche you can use on Flipper, or a number of niches, you know, people like to buy, say, weight loss sites, then you just use your keywords, in this case genealogy, and you click save this search. Tell them what you're going to call it, genealogy. Email me when new domains matching my search become available, and they send those every day, and you save search and it's added to your saved search results. I've got 11 other saved searches running at the moment, and I get emailed every time one of those searches comes up. So every time those keywords I've chosen appear in a domain name and there's the relevant amount of PR and age, or you know, it's a .com, .net, .org or .co.uk, whatever I've chosen, it will then tell me if it finds a domain up for sale that fits my criteria. There is so much more I could talk about to do with domains, and I might try and see if Kenny Goodman can do an interview about not just Domainface, but about why Domainface is so useful and why domaining is becoming more and more important in the online marketing world. But hopefully that's given you a taster of Domainface and has shown you why it's so useful to people who are buying domain names on a fairly regular basis. Don't forget, if you want to see any of our other cool tools, some of them, like Domainface, may have a fee, others are free, then you can go to our blog at swbnetwork.com/blog.